Everybody, Wild-Billiam again here with you with the Texas Rebel TXR 100 subscriber giveaway. I will start by saying that this giveaway will run through January 31st or until he reaches his actual 100 subscribers. If that is after that, I'm surely he'll be at 100 before then. So we'll say January 31st. He's giving away an American Lock 5200. That is the yellow belt variant. An ABUS 8345 that is zero bitted. That is an orange belt lock. But being zero bitted, it would be an awesome challenge lock to spread to the community. A Pack Lock 100G that is a green belt. That would be a fun lock just to have. It's an American military lock. And last couple of things, a Phantasm Industries case. Phantasm is doing some great stuff. If you've not checked out his cases that he's making and tool rolls, check those out. I'll put a link to him in the video as well. And last, and probably the coolest thing, is a patch, one of his campaign patches from the Charlie Company, his time in the military that he deployed with. That is very cool. So that would be a cool thing to have as the child and grandchild of veterans and nephew and everything else and great nephew of lots of veterans from World War II up through Korean War and Vietnam, and friends and family of those who have in the latest conflicts. So, support your military. So to enter the contest, rather, you need to make and post a video and tag TX Rebel CombatVet. Use the hashtag TXR100. And the next thing that I like that he kind of put at the top is to give a shout out and tag a channel with less than 100 subscribers. I'm going to give several here and put them in the description. I'll start with Blue Scooby Wagon, who was a good friend when I started in the community this past year in the summer. Gave some great advice. He's not really posted anything in quite a while, but he's a great picker. And hopefully he gets back online soon. I hope everything's okay. Next is another good friend and picker from the Discord community as well, is Bugasu. High level picker, doesn't have 100 subs. That's a shame. Let's get him some love. And last and definitely not least is a great friend from down under, Elijah Carney, the indigenous lock picker. Let's give him some love because he's doing some really cool speed pick stuff as well. Loves those Avis locks, I believe, and Lockwood. So let's give him some love. So I'm going to go back to a couple of things here in the middle. Is what lock are you working on? Well, I was, if you up here and find the lock, working on the Acid Desmo, but do not happen to see in front of me at the moment. I was working on this lock. Here we go. It's a brown belt lock, but I had a gutting accident trying to film a video and I have lost one of the sliders. So I'm going to have to get another one at some point. Fun lock. So instead of that lock, we're going to go back to some things I picked up recently. The Miwa U9. I have both a black belt 2 and a red belt variant here that's in the vise. Galaxy was kind enough to throw some cutaway prints in here that will be great for practicing and learning this lock and watching the cool mechanisms move inside of it. But I work on a lot of different things all the time. I'm always working on something, whether that be, a multi-lock that I go back to, the interactive. I struggle with pin and pin, but I have so many locks that I can work on. I like to switch things up if I get frustrated or bored. So the next thing here is my number one piece of advice. My number one piece of advice is to not give up, to not lose hope when you're struggling with picking. There are lots of other things you can do. If you're having a little downtime in your picking journey, whether that be get on this here, building a challenge lock, or making tools, cutaways like this one that I made out of a Master Lock number 3, courtesy of some good advice in a video from Isamu Sushi. And not a full cutaway, obviously you can't see the lock mechanism inside, but it's still a fun project to do, and it's not very hard, and you can do it with some basic tools, a Dremel and some things, just like you would with challenge locks. So that's my number one piece of advice: is don't give up, don't lose hope. Another free piece of advice, so to speak, is to get out there and support others in our community. We're a kind of a tight-knit community. We're pretty small overall, but we do some pretty amazing things, and I think being out there and being a supporter and a friend to others in the community is probably the coolest and number one thing you can do. This is a great community. So, last couple of things is be a subscriber of his channel. If you're going to enter somebody's contest, always be a subscriber. That's kind of a jerk move not to do it. And last is an idea for a short story featuring Texas Rebel. So, I think a cool short story with Texas Rebel would be, him going out to, get gas for his vehicle or for his lawnmower or whatever, and in the process, finds himself on a wayward journey, rescuing someone in the heat by, picking their car lock open or their home or something like that, on my way, what happened to me on the way to get groceries kind of a story would be really fun. So, get out there and be a subscriber to other channels. I have my own giveaway going right now for a few more days. It ends on the 10th of this month, January 2026. The Wild-Billiam Aces, 8s, and Locks 100. If people are doing these contests, always enter them. It's a good way to provide support to the community and to have a little fun. Don't be afraid to get on there if you need to pick a lock and talk at the same time. Stop if you need to take a break and pick the lock and then come back and talk again or whatever. We don't want anybody tripping, walking, and chewing gum at the same time. So, get out there and have fun. This is a fun hobby. It's a good way to interact with others. So I hope everybody has a good week, and congrats, Texas Rebel, on getting there to 100 subs. Hopefully, before I even get this posted, you're already at 100. I should have checked before I filmed. Get out there and show some love. Hope everybody has a great week, and we'll hopefully see you with some Miwa U9s open or something else open here soon. Hope everybody has a fantastic week. Talk to you later. Peace.